Hello and welcome to episode 158 of the Book Wars Pod. I'm Chris. I'm here with the full crew tonight. We've got Kate, Rana, Miranda, and Kristen.
Which is a fucking Christmas miracle for many reasons, including the fact that we just did like an hour of technology troubleshooting, so you know.
We got our shit together.
All air horns manual tonight.
Isn't today the exact day we were told by Twitter that we were a professional account?
This is a professional.
No, I just noticed that button today and I said, oh, we're a professional account.
I was going to say, was that like something that we picked or did they select us to be professional?
Yeah, no one would ever select us as professionals.
I don't think they listen.
Much like all of the world.
They're just like, they've existed for fucking 5 years at this point. Just fucking give it to them. Who cares?
Jack or Elon Musk, if you're listening, please tweet at us.
No, don't tweet at us. Just give us money.
I would literally rather no one ever heard our podcast ever again.
Yeah, I'm good.
If you say his name backwards 3 times, he appears.
Oh my god, just finish the intro.
I don't want to find out. Also, I don't want to try to pronounce that. So.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. Anyway, so this week we are, for the first time in a very, very long time, reading comics. We are reading Volume 1 of the High Republic Adventures by Daniel José Older, as well as kind of doing a quick journey through Volume 1 of the Marvel High Republic series by Cavan Scott. As a reminder for folks who are newer to the pod, we don't read the Marvel comics because C.B. Cebulski is a piece of shit in many regards, including faking being Asian to get jobs. And so we just don't fuck with that. But the High Republic, being such an integrated story effort, presented us with challenges. And so we are acknowledging the comics, going to quickly talk through them, and encourage you all not to read them.
We
So,
read
yeah,
it
no.
so you don't have to.
Exactly.
I didn't really read the Marvel comics. I just kind of read one, but it was on that like janky Russian website.
Oh yeah, that website was bad.
So and I was
like,
reading it on my phone.
Yeah.
So it took a while.
Had to be
Oh,
at
it's very bad on
20%
mobile.
zoom, like out, not like if a normal page is 100, I was at 20%. And also there were just ads popping up over everything, but we made it.
Y'all, Adblock Plus is a
I was
great
on my
computer.
phone because I also have a really old computer, and I'm pretty sure I know where it is. There's only so many. I think it's like buried behind something on a shelf.
I don't know what to tell y'all.
And I could not go to that website on my work computer. I tried.
Oh, I did. I probably shouldn't have. My tech person is totally going to message me in the morning and be like, were you looking at Russian porn? And I'll be like, sorry, it was Star Wars.
Only in the pop-up ads.
Oh
yeah,
my
better or
God.
worse.
I mean, I don't know if she's going to know those are mutually exclusive.
So upset. Great. So good.
Anyway, we would never endorse pirating anything, but fuck Marvel.
No.
But anyway, it's spoiler pod, so you just get the Cliff's Notes, so you're welcome.
Yeah. Before we dive in, what are we drinking?
I can start us off because I have very little to say about it because this can has been in my fridge for over a year. And there's very little information on it because it was just like made at the brewery that day. It's from Raíces Brewing, which is my favorite brewery in Denver. And it's their Esmeralda, which was their like Irish style red ale last year. It was good. It's a giant can. And yeah, I decided it was finally time to have it before it went bad. And if it does, I don't know if it does, but it's not particularly high alcohol. It's I don't know. There's no details here. It just says it was canned on May 1st last year and what the style is, and that's it. But yeah, shout out to the people at Raíces. I love them. They're an awesome brewery.
Oh, we really want to go there.
Yum.
Highly recommend it. Except with dogs, you have to have dogs outside of the fence. That's the one downside, is like it's not fun with dogs.
Well.
Yeah, I'll go over to Kristen, who looks like she would definitely benefit from a drink.
Thank you. I know, I just finally opened mine. We only had double IPAs in the fridge, so I'm drinking a 9% double IPA from, it's called Beak Breaker. It's from Pelican Brewing Company. I also have a Yingling. which my parents brought me, and I'm drinking them slowly but surely. So.
Oh, lucky you.
I know, I am very lucky. Anyway, they were my technology issues, so sorry
All your
everyone.
fault.
Good job.
We're so mad. Our podcast is usually so professionally
and seamless.
Haven't you seen our
produced.
Twitter? It's professional.
All right, I've been waiting to open this beer for like an hour. I just like popping the tab on
I'm
the
like halfway
recording.
through mine. I like how I didn't even wait.
Oh, well, I feel like that says more about you than anything else. I've got a beer from Sanitas Brewing. It's their Prickly Pear Sour. Space Jess at Space Jess of Lousy Beautiful Town Pod was here. I don't know what time is. Not last weekend, the weekend before that, and Ron and I basically had like a sleepover weekend and just bought us so much fucking beer, and our fridge is still 50% beer, I'm pretty fucking sure.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of them. Thanks, Jess. Sponsor of the pod.
I'm also drinking a sour from Sanitas Brewing Company, although it is a different one. It is their Earl's Out sour, which is an Earl Grey lemon sour. It's quite refreshing. It is also their Pride Month beer that they specifically brewed in. I don't remember what do you remember what the event was called?
It was the Big Queer Beer Fest
in
Denver.
Thank you. They brewed it for the Big Queer Beer Fest in Denver.
What now?
Mm-hmm. It was great. It was super hot. We put Orca in a backpack, and he brought so much joy to our people, and it was a delightful time.
I love queers and beers.
Come next June.
Famously.
It's true.
What you got, Burby?
I was drinking water, but I ran out of water during the technical problems. Time period, so now I have nothing. I should get more water.
Wow.
Tough but fair.
It is possible for you to get up and go get some if you want.
Nah.
I might, but I have to mute, and then I'm gonna miss some conversation. It
It's a whole
doesn't matter.
situation. It's a whole situation.
I'll just come in and start making comments again anyway.
Oh my god.
All right, and then for our episode, our cause this week is
Chris, did you say what you were drinking?
Yeah, I'm drinking the gay sour.
The gay sour.
Sorry.
From the Queers Your Beers Fest.
I'm seriously
It's
losing my mind.
tea,
I'm
but
very
also
sorry.
You're doing great.
Good job, everyone.
All right, and then for this week, our cause that we are encouraging people to donate to if they're able is Brigada Solidaria del Oeste. It is a mutual aid group asking for emergency essentials for residents. I'm assuming this is specifically in Puerto Rico.
It is.
Okay.
Well, it's not fucking in Wisconsin. I'm gonna tell
Well,
you what.
no. Sorry. Obvious. Yes, I'm guessing they're asking specifically for Puerto Rico. I didn't know if it is specifically a Puerto Rican organization.
It is.
Nodding.
All right.
Keeks is nodding.
Perfect. So it is a Puerto Rican mutual aid group asking for donations of emergency essentials for residents in the wake of the flooding there due to Hurricane Fiona.
Yep.
And so they are looking for first aid kits, water filters, solar lamps, and water purification tablets. Also, they're welcoming monetary donations as another form of direct aid, and you can give that to their PayPal, which is Brigada Solidaria Oeste @gmail.com. So for those who aren't good at sounding out Spanish spelling, it's BRIGADASOLIDARIAOESTATE. Sorry, damn, so close. @gmail.com.
We can also tweet it.
It'll be in the it'll be in the show notes.
There you go. It'll be in the show
We can
notes.
put it on our socials too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So we'll put that out there. But yeah.
Please give them money, because how many times does Puerto Rico have to get absolutely fucked?
I know. They still haven't even recovered from
No.
Hurricane Maria.
Nope.
several years ago.
Also,
It's
fuck
awful.
colonialism
Yep.
and
Yep.
the fact that they're getting like no attention for this ridiculous disaster.
Absolutely.
And the fact
But don't
that
worry,
Westfield
because
invested in
every channel was
infrastructure.
carrying the Queen's fucking funeral.
Oh, also, wasn't it within the last year that the Supreme Court decided that Puerto Rican citizens have no right to U.S. Like Medicare and other social benefits?
What?
So
So much was on fire, I didn't even see
Yeah.
that, although I'm not surprised.
I am not surprised, but what the fuck?
Yeah, I know. That's these
Woo,
Supreme Court
colonialism, isn't it?
You
Isn't
can't
it
have
the
it both
best?
ways.
just knocking it out of the park
Well,
out there.
Bunch of white people. I don't care. And Clarence Thomas, but whatever. Fuck him. Woo, politics pod.
Speaking of disasters, where and when
Wow, great.
Speaking of disasters, welcome to the Book Wars pod.
Oh my god.
are we? That wasn't even what I meant. I was talking about the great disaster, famously.
It was a segue.
Yep. So anyway,
Yikes
where and
almighty.
when are we during these comics?
Well, we're still in phase 1 of the High Republic, so
We're in the High Republic.
yeah. So we're still 200 years approximately before the Phantom Menace, and we are still centered around the Legacy Run disaster. I want to say that just reading between the lines in terms of, or not between the lines, rather from context clues from the Marvel comic, that's kind of in the latter half of Light of the Jedi because they mention Jorah Mormolly's death. And then I don't know what the hell IDW is doing, maybe like a little bit after that.
Yeah, that part didn't. It was like it was after the Starlight Beacon
Dedication.
opened.
Yeah.
Because it was fucking up the bugs.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
that was the Marvel comic too. I did
Oh.
read
It was
one.
Marvel.
Yeah, no, the Marvel comic. So the fucking up the bugs was right before the
But-
the dedication ceremony.
Yeah, and the baby
Um,
Jedi, they were on the.
They were after. Yeah.
Yeah, because they were like going and hanging out there.
Yeah.
Is what happened in this book.
Indeed.
But yeah, so it is, as Kate said, after Jorah Mormolly's death, after Skier lost his arm, notably because he doesn't have an arm in
And he talks about it a lot.
comics.
Everyone talks about it.
Yes.
Everyone talks.
Exactly.
It's very like, hey, did you notice your arm's gone? Like,
Oh, you don't say. I just woke up today and it was just like that, just wandered
there
off in the
was-
night.
No doubt that his species grows back their limbs. You hear it about 900 times in these 5 chapters.
yep,
So
you do.
Incredible.
So I can just do a quick run through of Marvel, and then we can talk through anything we want to talk through. Does that work for folks?
Yeah,
Thanks,
because fuck that guy.
Yeah.
It works even if you say it into the mic, Chris.
No, it doesn't. Marvel doesn't deserve for us to say it into the mic.
Ugh.
So the Marvel series introduces us to perfect Angel Keeve Trennis, who has never done anything wrong in her life.
She's so potty mouthed. I mean, of course, I just love her because I am myself.
She is Skier's Padawan / graduates to a Jedi Knight after the first issue, and then the next 4 issues that we read issues 1 through 5, were about her, Skier, and then the non-binary Jedi siblings Tarek and Saret investigating a Nihil attack / Drengir infestation.
I will say that her knighting ceremony was alarming looking. Like the way it was drawn, I was like, is she being decapitated? No, okay, we're good. Never mind. No plot.
I mean,
twist.
Okay, that's
fair-
what knighting ceremonies always look
That-
like.
I know,
That's
but
true.
just because there was no expectation and all of a sudden there's a lightsaber at her throat, I was like, wait, oh no, we're good, okay.
Did
Thought
you?
it was like a weird dream.
It's like, I mean, it's especially alarming, I feel like, because they have to cut off the Padawan braid, so they have to get especially close to your head. And so,
Exactly,
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Did you all ever play or watch the cutscenes from Fallen Order?
No.
There's a scene where Seer knights Cal, except she does it with an Inquisitor's lightsaber, and like, it's a very like, she's like kind of in a dark place when she does it, so she like.
It's very
It's like
uncomfortable.
he says something like, "I'm just a Padawan" or something, and she's like, "No," and then she ignites the sword, and you're like, "Are you gonna kill him?"
And it's just bright red, glowing, and it's just, yeah, no.
It's very funny.
It's bunches. Honestly,
Incredible.
I know that a lot of people have a soft spot for Cal, but I would have been like, if she had cut this white kid's head off, I'd been like, yeah, all right, that's the game. Cool.
I stand by.
It's a quick
Jedi
game.
Survivor will be. The story for that will be well served if they kill off Cal halfway through.
That'd be ironic. I like that.
Yeah. Spoiler alert: the survivor's Marin.
Shh. Stop. I would love that so much.
I know.
Anyway, the the only thing the main comment I wanna point out here is what if even if you don't read the Marvel comics, you should Google how the Drengir Drengir are drawn, just because they show up and I'm just like, I know they're supposed to be ferocious and scary and they have many mouths and they're here to like fucking stab you with their vines, and all y'all know I'm afraid of trees because I grew up in the city and, you know, this is supposed to be terrifying for me. But I was just like, the way the leaves are drawn, I was like, they literally look like fucked up Big Bird to me. And I don't. I'm just looking at them and I'm just like, you're a joke to me. They look so fluffy. And I'm just like, oh, right, there's murderous trees. It's fine. It's
they're
whatever.
Murder trees.
They're murder trees. Chris, do you want to sum up real quick what this adds to our knowledge of the High Republic? It's basically that all the Drengir across the galaxy are woken up now on account of what happens in Into the Dark,
essentially.
yes?
So it basically confirms what the Drengir told Reith in, as you said, Into the Darkness by Claudia Gray, that
Into the dark. There's no nest.
into the dark nest.
No.
That basically the colossal nature of Comac and Orla's fuck up. Not only did it wake up the Drengir on the station, on the Amaxine station, but it actually woke up their, who they call, I believe, the Great Progenitor. Was that mentioned in this one?
Yes.
Okay. So, which it seems like essentially they're sort of a hive mind. And
Is that like that forest in Colorado or somewhere where it's a bunch of trees, but it's one tree?
Like that Aspen Grove? Yeah.
Yeah,
There's like a tree system that, listen, trees are fucking frightening. There's this tree system and they basically like, they're all have the same, it's all the same root system, so that's basically one plant. It just looks like many trees.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
They
I
did
told
that
you.
with the Drengir.
Yeah. But it's, if you've played Halo, it's like the Flood and the Gravemind. It's very similar vibes. But anyway, so yeah, they are now awake throughout the galaxy, and they have been existing throughout the Outer Rim in, you know, sleeping in stasis, however you want to call it, and now they're awake and they appear to be popping up everywhere.
And I think they're mad.
I'd be mad if I got woke up also.
I think
Same.
they're just hungry.
I mean, I'd be
too
mad if
am both hungry and mad at all times. So.
yeah.
Just number one word uttered in these 5 issues was meat.
Meat fight. That's what I'm here for. I will say it was also kind of cool to see the totems, the idols or whatever the fuck, actually like depicted in the comic for like 5 seconds, because I kind of was envisioning them as, I don't know, if I grew up in a neighborhood where like a lot of folks had like little shrines to the Virgin Mary outside of their front house, and if you know what those look like, then you know about how big they are. I was imagining them about that size, but no, they're like
I thought they were
pillars.
huge.
No, what? Yeah, no, the idols are huge. I had just reading about them in Into the Dark for whatever reason. I just imagined them being a much more manageable size for whatever reason. I don't know. It's fine. Good.
It was
As
also
someone who
interesting.
also saw this all the time growing up, I 100% see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was just going to say it was also interesting to me to see the Drengir were talking about a little bit of their history, and it was actually the Sith or some sort of dark side acolytes who imprisoned them in the first place. They were saying that they kind of originally allied with the Sith because, you know, they both like to fuck shit up, but then the Sith panicked because they didn't know how to kill the Drengir. And so they just imprisoned them all, essentially. And they'd stayed that way for several 100,000 unclear years.
Fucking trees.
Fucking trees,
They'll
man.
kill you. Anyway,
Want to go to the good comics?
yeah.
That's not fair. These comics,
Yay.
it's not Kevin Scott's
No.
and Ariane Dito's fault.
It's really not.
They're very high quality comics. Marvel just sucks.
Mm-hmm. But anyway,
The Bebes.
yes, High Republic Adventures, by Daniel José Older, our fucking fave.
This was a really fun one. Lots of fun
right?
species, too.
Oh, absolutely. No, I was like, I love this. We'll talk about this a little later on, but this is just, Daniel José Older has is just such a unique voice, and it leaves his fingerprints just all over everything he does, in very specific ways, but we'll talk about that in a hot second. Yeah, can we start by talking about Yoda, because Yoda baking is just beyond my reckoning. Like I had seen I had seen the panel of him being like, we brought delicious pastries for you, because somebody had like screenshotted it and stuck it on Twitter, and I was like, what the fuck is this, obviously? And so seeing it in context.
But did
was
Yoda
even more
make them,
delightful.
or did someone
Yes.
else? He did. Oh, I missed it.
No, he
Yoda
did.
Made them.
It
Okay,
was
well,
his
at least
recipe.
Yeah, it was at
Oh,
least his
great.
recipe.
Making people
Yeah.
do things again. Okay, that makes more sense. All right. Sorry, Yoda.
That's a fair question. No, he made them with his little claw hands. What?
So I want to apologize to Yoda. He's the white people of Star Wars.
There are many white people of Star Wars, to be clear.
Yes, because all the people are
This
white.
is so true. I was gonna say this is.
I was gonna
maybe,
say.
is he the white people of the Jedi? Question mark. Is that specific enough?
Also,
I
a
think
lot of
just the
Jedi are white.
Jedis fall. Yeah, most of the. I feel like the Jedi Order is a bad analogy for. I mean, they're going around trying to enforce their rules on other people. You know, we get it. They've turned into
Mission
defunct
accomplished.
cops by the end.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I swear I like Star Wars. I don't know why I'm like this.
Well, no, but I mean that is interesting because one of the things that we talked about with Light of the Jedi and Into the Dark is that they don't have the same vibe in the High Republic that they do in the prequel era. And here, like, there's no bigger difference than Yoda, who, like, there's like that like fantastic meme of like
Yes.
like Yoda in Empire Strikes Back, like, little gremlin I am, I will jump on your shoulders. And
Oh, I've
then
got-
like
don't
I
do
can
the
pull-
voice.
I
and
can
then
pull
Yoda
it
in the
up if you
prequel.
want me
Yeah,
to.
please pull it up.
Okay.
Oh my god. Chris, don't do
This
the
is my
voice though. That's not.
I'm not
Yes.
gonna do a voice. Nobody wants that. Where the fuck are you? Yoda in the originals. Hee hee, hoo hoo, little creature I am. Ooh, hoo 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 hoo.
Oh my god.
See, sorry, is that better? Just is that better for folks?
I don't really like it.
I like it when Miranda reads things in a dead voice. So
Yoda in the prequels. Backflip I do. Responsible for war crimes I am.
Yes.
Yeah, and so like we're much closer to like little creature hee hee hoo hoo Yoda in the High Republic.
Great. It's true though. Yeah, no, he's shockingly inoffensive whereas whenever he shows up in the I don't know, in the fall of the Jedi era, he's just the most irritating. Anytime he opens
Because
his
he's
mouth, it's
actively
just,
bringing about the Empire.
he is, isn't he? He's yeah. Uh-huh. Mhm. I was also pleased, like, I mean, first of all, him baking is just like unbelievable. But the fact that he does it to like welcome this Force sensitive child who he's just like, well, we can't train you, but we're still gonna be nice to you. Unlike when baby Anakin shows up at the temple and he's just like, oh, hello, you've just been freed from fucking slavery. What if we just insult you and tell you fucking suck?
So wait, I
And
have a
also tell
logistical
you-
question. Sorry, go ahead.
And also tell you that you are the chosen one. Don't
Yes.
fuck it up.
So I have a logistical question about Yoda baking. Do we think
Yes.
that the Starlight Beacon, whatever the hell it's called, has a Yoda-sized kitchen? Or do we think he had to use the Force in a different species-sized kitchen?
He
Or-
definitely. Yes.
No, you're
There's secret option number 3. Yes. What?
Yeah, I was just going to say, or maybe they have a variety of kitchens for many different species.
You know what? That's actually kind of a wonderful question.
We
I
read that
think-
story from another point of view about the chef on Cloud City. I'm just saying. We
Okay,
know
Queen.
we know their
feel like-
kitchens.
I feel like it would be like one kitchen, but with like a lot of accommodations.
So like
see,
technological ways to get up there, like a
yeah,
booster
and
seat
like you
or
know
like
stuff for different.
a booster seat. I was gonna
I'm
say a
picturing-
step stool.
I'm picturing a booster seat. Like when I say that, I'm not picturing like a baby booster seat. I don't know why I called it that. I'm picturing a seat that floats, kind of like the interrogation droids, but it's a chair,
oh my
and
god,
Yoda gets to sit in it.
that'd be
It's
pretty.
just Yoda
It's like a
sitting in
baby
Grogu's
swing,
pram.
But yeah, exactly.
Oh my fucking! I was like, so see, I feel like it's either what Burb said, where we have accommodations, or it's one of those like fucking stupid things where it's just like, well, the average size of a creature who is probably going to be on here is a humanoid, and so we're just going to take a happy medium, and then everyone will be grumpy because that's what real life is
that's
like.
kind of like one of those, but with some accommodations, is what I'm thinking.
See, I disagree with Kate, with you and Rana, and I don't know if I agree with Burb. I think I'm closest to Burb, but I think it's like a 3 bears situation, except there's
God.
like 3 million bears, and there's just like 3 million different ovens, and they're all different sizes.
No,
on
there's
on
the
one
ovens.
plate.
it's a
On
space
Starlight
station.
Beacon?
Ovens. How
Dude,
do you
it's all-
power it?
It's okay. Also, it's only
I'm
so
sorry.
big,
I'm
How
sorry.
do you rig
How
the water in
How
that
does
fucking kitchen?
any of it work, Burb?
bro. Oh my god, just fake nuclear fusion, dude. It's a fucking space station. It's only so fucking big. it's
You can't
basically
have infinite kitchen sizes.
exactly like it's just like
Then
where
they'd
they
have to have infinite utensils for however many fingers and prong things.
Through the
and
Force, all
tentacles.
things are possible.
Oh my god, the Force doesn't invent fucking tentacle forks or whatever the fuck you want. Like, Jesus
Why do we not have a
Christ.
drop for that's not how the Force works?
Ooh, why
oh,
don't
good
we?
one.
Yeah. Well,
We don't have any drops this episode. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah,
Technical
well.
difficulties, etc.
We know you love hearing our voices.
I can make drops.
Oh my god, please don't.
Pew, pew, pew.
Oy. But you
I
know,
don't even
it's
know if
not
that
like-
was an air horn or a quote that I missed.
I'm so upset.
Or R2D2.
Or Miranda.
Who's to say?
I do
true.
like that your air horn it now just sounds like a blaster. Like that. That's kind of on brand. You've come full circle.
It's big Arrested Development. Has Miranda ever seen a chicken vibes?
Yes, exactly.
I have not. No, I'm just picturing them like using blasters, but like those rubber chickens.
This feels like a robot
That's-
chicken sketch.
I was gonna say it's literally what it feels like. All right, we've gone far afield.
Sorry, I just wanted to know about the kitchen.
No,
you know,
no,
asking an
no,
important
no, no, no.
question.
no. I
How
feel
dare
like
you.
that's oh my god, that's a fair question. Then Miranda started making mouth noises, and here we are.
No, it wasn't a fair question. It's just, that's where my mind was, I guess.
No, I think it's a fair question because I also listen when I say that I'm delighted that folks who've grown up with this grown up with like original Star Wars and in this fandom are now like writing the High Republic stuff. Like these are the questions that the fandom wants asked. Like how does the refresher work, or what does the fucking kitchen look like, or whatever the fuck. Like these are the questions that they're trying to answer because they're just like us, and these are also the things that they've been wondering for however so many years. And so no, I kind of love that question. Also, world building is fun. Okay, so Yoda baked pastries for people, the people being children, including Zine is her name, yeah.
Yes.
The Force sensitive baby who is too old to be trained as a Jedi, but gets to hang out, I guess, which is honestly like the fact that she even is allowed to hang out feels like something that the late Republic Jedi would absolutely never, ever do.
Oh, absolutely.
I also just don't understand how this question has never been answered. Like, we see so long of a timeline, and they still don't know what to do. It's like they have never figured out a middle ground, an internship program, like
Right?
something.
Right?
I think this is her internship program. Like it's
Well,
accidental, but
Yeah.
Still though, yeah, no, I mean it is I mean again, it is an ongoing question. What do you do with Force sensitives who like can't or don't want to or whatever the fuck, like, or aren't scooped up by the Jedi? Like what happens to them? And it seems like she's gone her whole life just being like, I don't know, being Elsa and Frozen basically, and just being like,
Yeah,
this is
so
not
it's like-
happening.
Conceal, don't feel.
Yeah.
conceal.
Well, I
don't
have to
feel.
wonder how many people on that planet are Force sensitive,
Mhm.
but because the culture is to hide that and, otherwise you'll be persecuted, I have to wonder, like, maybe there are lots of planets like that where there are tons of Force sensitive people and they just don't ever really get to explore that or use that, and I don't know what happens.
Yeah, no, it's a curious question, especially for folks like, I mean, obviously there are different types of different aptitudes for Force sensitivity in terms of just like what your affinity is for. Like, like obviously Leia didn't really present like obvious Force sensitivity in her childhood, aside from being like extremely intuitive, like preternaturally intuitive. But like, other folks just like, I don't know, I feel like it's like with Harry Potter where he just like blows stuff up by accident and like magically grows his hair. Like that, those people have to exist too, right?
That's what
Like
I was thinking, but
yeah.
then I didn't want to mention Harry Potter for reasons. But I was thinking that I was like, is it one of those situations where these like kids are just causing disaster all around them, and they think that they're like bad, terrible children, but really they just need to learn how to use their force.
Yeah, no, these are
Their
my questions.
force, the force.
It's
Also,
only theirs. Actually,
That was like a George W. Bush, the Google situation.
That just makes me wonder what kind of like Force young person Finn was.
oh, that's a great question. I would, man,
that could be a book.
that
I
it
would read that
could.
book.
I would read the
would read
fuck
that
out of the
book.
book.
I would too.
I recognize we're biased because we're a Star Wars book pod, but like I would like to know that story.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, God knows there are so many stories we can tell about just Finn as a character. And I don't know when or if we are ever going to get them, because what the fuck is going on at Lucasfilm, just like as a whole, in terms of planning or anything or whatever. No one knows. No one ever knows. So
Yeah, just like Disney hoped when they bought Lucasfilm for $8 billion. There's no movies for at least 6 years.
boop-a-doop-a-doo, as you do.
I mean, for a track record, it was like 6 years wasn't that bad looking at the overall timeline, but yeah, now it's
We
surprising.
did get a bunch
it's
in
awkward.
rapid succession.
We did. No, it's true.
That was real nice.
It's
Some
more
of
just
them
like
don't
looking
count.
at them. Yeah, we got.
Somehow.
Well, let's see how many movies came out. We got 4 movies and 1 Abomination. But yeah, no, I mean, it is, getting back to your point, Rana, it is kind of unbelievable that they never figured it out. But also, like, at least looking at the Jedi in the prequel series, it almost is a little bit more believable. To me, it's like more unbelievable that in this area where they're better, that
Yeah,
they didn't
for
figure it
sure.
out.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Like, we know in this era they have the infrastructure, they have every resource they could ever want, they have all of the socio-political power, like maybe not socio-political, maybe just social power, but still, yeah, for sure.
They've got geopolitical power.
They do, but if I say that they have all of the social political power, it kind of makes it sound like their role in the political scheme is different than it is. But yeah,
Okay.
no, yeah, I guess I hear what you're saying. It's definitely weirder to me that they don't have that now when they have everything figured out. Like, you have statues carved into rocks and millions of temples scattered across the universe. Like, okay, probably hundreds, but still.
No Jedi left behind.
Yeah. Although I will say, like,
Yike.
man, it's really just a George W. Bush
Wow.
reference party today.
Yikety yike.
I will say that, like,
Kate's gonna throw a shoe at Chris by the end of the pod just to.
I mean, you're acting like
the
I've never
theme.
done that in my life.
Oh,
That's why I said you would do it.
the end of that Yoda meme, the hee hee hoo hoo, is George Bush after
and during his presidency. Yep.
his presidency.
Yep.
Oh, fool you once, right? Get it? Haha, reference again. There we go.
Won't get fooled again.
Hee hee hoo hoo.
Fuck's sake.
God, Bushisms are really just the gift that keeps on giving if you don't mind wanting to kill yourself.
And if you just forget about all the genocide.
Yeah,
war
exactly.
crimes, you know.
Exactly.
Just like Yoda.
Just like Yoda. No, but what I was gonna say is, I will say it does seem like when, like, Yoda and Buckets of Blood and Avar and Cantum are, like, having this discussion about about Zine and with her, like, it feels like it is a discussion that they've had before. Like, it's relatively quickly after they met her, and they're like, okay, what are we gonna do? And they're like, well, she can at least stick around here to, like, hang out while we figure it out. And, like, it definitely feels like this has happened before, and there may not be a one-size-fits-all solution, but it doesn't feel unprecedented.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, it seems like a comfortable conversation for them. Like, they've definitely had it before. Apparently Yoda's gonna have it a lot more times because we all know what happens when Anakin rolls up.
Bad stuff.
Bad stuff.
Yoda's going to have it a lot more times, and it's just every time Anakin does something wrong.
Can we kick him out now?
How many times do we think Yoda has had that conversation in his life? That he's been like, that child
So
is
many.
too old. Like, he's been alive for hundreds of
So
years.
many.
He has to have said this like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dozen times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would tend to agree with that.
It's got to happen like
absolutely.
every couple years.
Oh, yeah.
You would think. Big galaxy.
Absolutely. Man, no, he's just like there. He just sticks his head into the fucking like practice room, and Anakin's just like exploded something else, and he's just like,
That's the real reason Yoda goes crazy by the Clone Wars era. He's just been saying, I told you so for 10 years.
No, he's just been dealing with Skywalkers for 10 years, and just the concentration of Skywalkers
It would
just
fuck anybody
after
up.
however so many hundreds of years he's been alive. He's just like, yeah, I'm done. My brain's done. Goodbye.
See, I'm like, Dagobah is made of mercury and or lead.
But I think my problem is that he's already fucked
Both.
up. Like, he's clearly losing his sanity within the prequels.
Oh, yes.
He's not thinking clearly. That's for goddamn sure. So
but
yeah.
maybe I have my correlation and causation mixed up. Like, maybe he already had mercury poisoning and he was like, let's go.
those
Maybe
tentacle
he's
forks will
just
get you.
I
Maybe
love
he's
tuna.
just
I get it.
getting old in Yoda years. They gotta have an old age eventually.
Mm-hmm.
It's
he
true.
looks like shit.
He did not use sunscreen.
Oh.
I wonder when their species scales up. Like, Grogu is so fucking small.
For some reason, I was picturing it as like a Pokemon evolution, and I was like, I don't think they do that. But now I see what
I mean, maybe they don't. Maybe you're right, Rana.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't know. I love Grogu with all my heart, okay? I don't care if it makes me...
Comics means we can talk about whatever we want.
You know
It's
what?
true, there are no rules.
It's true.
There's a bright flash of light and Yoda sitting there. Do do do. Do 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 do.
Who's that Pokemon? Jesus fuck.
It's war crimes.
I'm quitting the pod.
Of course, the white man laughs about war crimes.
Oh my.
Just kidding.
It's
I know.
true.
I know your history. I get it. I'm just kidding.
Anyway.
I know it's later in the outline, but I really want to talk about buckets of blood.
Buckets
Which
of
is
blood.
just my favorite thing I've ever heard anyone refer to themselves as. It sounds like a weird, like, sitcom metal band, but it's just the best.
So this is actually
Sorry,
based
context,
on.
Thank you.
I can give a little context from some of the interviews when High Republic stuff first started coming out. Buckets of Blood is based on a real person that DJO met when he was a paramedic.
He used to be a paramedic. He has honestly, following him on Twitter is great for many reasons because he's hysterical and also brilliant. But he also, every so often, he will tell just a wild ass story from when he used to be a paramedic, and they are just beyond reckoning. And this is anyway. Go on.
Yeah, and so apparently there was this like big giant paramedic dude who used to just like get on the horn and be like, "Buckets of blood is on the way," and then they would be like, "Why the fuck do you call yourself Buckets of Blood?" He's like, "'Cause I put the buckets of blood back into people."
The most logical conclusion.
Of
I'm
course.
also really concerned for that paramedic. Like,
Right?
what's happening?
You know, when you're a paramedic and you see some shit, you gotta stay sane somehow. Oh my!
It's true.
Yeah,
So
no.
Buckets of Blood is based on a true story.
I
love that.
adore that. I adore that. It's so
I just
good.
thought it was like, you know, this Jedi has the vibes of like some frat guy who never got a nickname, so he got to like his junior, senior year and decided to name himself.
Yeah.
Yes, that's so true. Oh my!
I also
God.
love the Padawans being like, "Buckets of what now?"
No, I like how they're just like, ew, and he's just like, I hate fighting, I hate fighting, I hate fighting, I hate fighting, and he's just like absolutely panicking. And the Padawans are like, Dad.
Yeah,
Well,
one
I
of
love
them-
that we all interpreted it as him calling himself Buckets of Blood, like, yeah, I'm here to fuck shit up, and then, like, I'm gonna release buckets of blood from my enemies,
Right.
and then actually, and I love when the kids, like you said, it's very, you can tell DJO has spent time being judged by youths,
Faux
and
show.
then also when they're like, why are you grossed out by fighting? You called yourself Buckets of Blood. It's like,
He's like, and then he
It's
just
great.
looks
I
at them
love
and
it.
he's just like, I'm a medic. Like, it's the most
he's
obvious thing ever.
horrified that they
I know.
thought that.
I'm just imagining somebody bleeding and him just like trying to like fucking like float the blood in the air with the force
Yes.
and shove it back in.
Scoop it up
God.
off the ground and put it back in the body.
It's just like some bizarre mixture of like Benny Hill and like Katara bloodbending.
I was about to say, it's exactly what it's like.
I'm just picturing all the like particles of dirt and rocks and things.
It's fine. We don't worry about
This
it.
is how you get diseases for sure.
Oh God, this is how COVID happened. Actually, somebody licked dirt or whatever. I don't-
There's a big difference between licking dirt and putting like old coagulated blood filled with like
Maybe
minerals
he keeps
and
it not
fine.
coagulated.
it's,
Also,
it's-
I want to
keeps
point
it-
out I want to point out the
force.
irony that Kate is the one who said that COVID was caused by licking dirt. Kate, who famously has never met a mold she wouldn't eat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, is this the argument you want to have, Kate?
Listen, it's fine. It's just it's fine.
It's all penicillin if you believe.
Listen, if the cordyceps zombie virus actually happens, it's gonna be me, and I'm fine with that. Just take me out first, and then I will have to deal with shit. That's fine.
You just have to tell us that you're feeling weird. I've watched a lot of Resident Evil media in my life. Like,
that's amazing. We'll get back to talking about DJO and his incredible sense of humor in a second. No. Like, that's fine. Buckets of Blood is here to be discussed for fucking sure. I just really want to quickly talk about Markion Rowe and the fact that we finally get to see him. He's got a pretty badass like get up going on. I was just like, we get to the cover of, I think it's like issue 3, the one where like we get a close up of several people's like busts basically, and we get to see his helmet and like the eye symbol painted on it, which is pretty badass. I just enjoy the art there.
I like how he switched out his helmet purely for vibes.
I mean, if you're a bad guy, that's what you do.
Right, the vibes are part of the badness.
Absolutely.
I definitely like read him in Light of the Jedi as having like a real nerdy vibe coming off of him.
Oh, you always read a nerdy vibe coming off of people. But
I'm really excited for
I
us to get.
I had some support for that.
I'm really excited for us to get to the Lorna D audiobook because his voice is just so unexpected, except maybe for Burb.
Is it wildly high?
Yeah.
Oh. Voice is wildly high. I am excited for that because I don't know. You expect him to have a helmet on, and there's a voice modulator in it, so he can sound more akin to Vader, but apparently not. What is the thing? I want to know what the purple thing is. And Chris says we don't get to find out what the purple weapon, whatever the goddamn fuck thing he's looking for.
Artifact.
Yeah, we don't get to find out until when, Chris?
Second wave, Rising Storm.
But I want it now.
We did see a little cameo from the purple thing at the end of Flight of the Jedi. He
I was
looking
about
in
to
a
say,
Oh, yeah,
box
no,
with
I
a
know.
purple glow.
Same purple thing from there.
Yes.
It is.
Okay.
Right, but I want to know like what it is.
It's Mace Windu's soul.
No.
It's like the soul in the briefcase from
Ew.
Pulp Fiction, but Mace
No.
Windu.
No.
It's her purple, and she needs it now.
Exactly. Exactly. I want to know what the glowy thing is. Also, I just love how like Star Wars is just a series of like people adopting children by accident. So Markion Rowe's a dad now.
Surprise.
I know, and I'm just like, congrats, you
annoying.
are now the proud guardian of the shittiest white kid I've ever seen in my life. I just want fucking Zine and Lula to be girlfriends if they want, and then for Zine
Oh, I
to
100% got those vibes. I was
Oh,
like,
good.
that's interesting. Good
They
for
were
them.
there.
Okay, great. I was just like, do I want this to happen or is this actually anyway? Doesn't matter. It should happen regardless of whether it's there, quote unquote, there or not. But anyway, I was just like, Zine, go be girlfriends and fucking yeet this white kid straight past the outer rim and never look at him ever again. Don't speak to him. He never existed. I'm just like, God, this is the worst, most annoying child I've seen in Star Wars since I don't know when. I'm legitimately trying to think. Maybe Ezra fucking Bridger. Like, God, he's the worst.
I
mean, I get that, like, you know, the Jedi are bad and the Force is evil, and, you know, you've known this the whole time and I'm just learning of it now. But also, like,
Don't be
you're focused on her lying to you, so you turn on her real quickly.
I mean, like, you know, that's
And on that elder. He's like, yo, it was him.
oh my God. I'm like,
yeah,
you're
that
just
kid's
a little
shit.
You're a little rat. Oh my God. I was just like, you know, there's like feeling betrayed and whatever the fuck, and then there's being an ass clown, and I was like, well.
Yeah, I think we've all been accused by children of things that we're like, I really think everyone knows that this is not what's happened. But this is just another level. Also, he's too old for that. He's got to be like 12, right? Because he's older than Zine because he helped take care of Zine. So,
Right.
yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is
Or
he's
whatever.
just a piece of shit.
No,
Sorry.
he's the fucking worst. Does he show up in books?
he'll show up in Midnight Horizon, which is the last book of Phase 1 of the High Republic.
So I can.
Also written by DJO.
Oh man.
But
I
yeah,
hate
no,
that guy.
Krix Kamarat, canonically just a huge bitch. So we'll get into that as we continue reading.
What a delight. My word. How wonderful. Also, yeah. Just Chris, just straighten out something in the timeline for me.
Mhm.
So we see the Gaze Electric.
Yes.
In the IDW comics, which is Markion Rowe's ship, which we also saw in Light of the Jedi.
Yes.
Loden Greatstorm is being held prisoner on the Gaze Electric.
Yes.
Are people not able to sense that this motherfucker is like keeping a whole ass Jedi Master just like prisoner in his ship basement or whatever the fuck you call it?
Well, so we don't see the Gaze Electric
What?
with anywhere with the Jedi,
Okay.
because on Triment 4 they have like a little spider boy shuttle.
Yeah, which I'm sure you loved.
Yeah, it's the best.
Spiders are your favorite. Yeah.
And so that was kind of like, and then later we
Okay.
kind of see them fucking around on the Gaze Electric, but that's like when they're not traveling with the Jedi. It doesn't
Guess
seem like
that's
the Gaze
true.
Electric is a ship that goes into battle.
I guess that's true. I mean, going
Yeah,
to
but
battle,
is it
they just-
anywhere in the system still? Or
Not
did it
necessarily.
like
I mean,
drop
if
him
the
off and yeet into hyperspace?
I mean, I
Come
feel like
back.
the shuttle is probably hyperspace equipped.
It is.
Pick
I
me
think
up
we
at
saw
9,
them.
Mom.
No, the spider is hyperspace equipped. They had a little
Okay.
diagram. It was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I love those. Those were
so the
fun.
Gaze, so no Jedi have been
Okay.
on or near the Gaze Electric right
Okay.
now. So, I mean, it's a fair point of where does everybody think Loden Greatstorm is right now, and we're gonna get into that.
Well, they think he's mad dead.
Exactly. Well, yeah, we know that a little bit. Most
They
people
do
think
that
he's
a
dead.
lot.
We're gonna, learn more about Loden and why am I having a brain fart right now? His Padawan,
Bell.
Bell. Thank you, Bell's out of Har. We're gonna learn more about them in the Rising Storm.
Okay. Well, fair enough. But yeah, no, I just also don't have a good concept. Chris, stop playing with your fucking microphone. I don't have a good concept of how big the Gaze Electric is either, because I'm like, it's big enough to have a basement, a fucking life support pod for a little old lady, and a gladiator ring apparently. So
In secrets, also
yes,
like enough space that people don't go everywhere on the ship,
right,
and they don't
right.
hear everything on the ship because
Right.
there's
Yeah.
the old woman being tortured, like screaming all the time.
I know.
My general thought is that it's capital ship sized. So
Fair
it's
enough.
like, maybe not like a full on Star Destroyer because those are like even
Big.
bigger than what came before because Empire, but like maybe like a Venator.
Okay, fair enough. Still,
So, probably like a few kilometers from end to end.
fair enough.
Big enough that like there are places you can hide shit for sure.
I just love the name of that ship. It's Gaze Electric is a great name for a ship. All right. I want to quickly talk about a little bit more about DJO as an author. So we've read his stuff before. He wrote Last Shot, the Han and Lando book that we read in the before times. That was way before grad school and everything else. Which is an adult novel. This is a middle grade comic book. We've read a little bit of Cavan too, honestly, and he wrote one of the Obi-Wan story in the original A Certain Point of View, I want to say. But we haven't gotten to his like full length stuff yet. So we'll put that aside for now. But yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about like what differences or similarities. I guess this is mostly a question for Chris and Burb between this comic and his writing for adults, because I do think he has certain stylistic flourishes that he'll put in there.
I don't know. He makes this fun. Like everything, that he's gotten there, it's, folks are making jokes. I feel like, and I know it's, more the, I don't know how people collaborate to make comics, but I very much get the impression that he's, like, telling a story and, like, sounding out the sound effects.
Yes. Oh my god, that's so true. Absolutely. He just like in his brain is just like he's probably on the phone with like whoever and just being like, all right, it needs to be spelled like this.
Like, the lightsabers, like, bow, like, pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's interesting reading him in comics and some of his children's stuff because I know he does a lot of middle grade writing outside of Star Wars. And I don't know if anybody else has read the Book of Lost Saints, but that's also his kind of one other adult book that he's written outside of Star Wars. But he has this really incredible way of not changing himself to fit what he is writing and instead like bending the style of what he is writing to fit his own voice. And that's a little bit less apparent in Last Shot just because he just naturally writes Han and Lando's voices so well.
Oh my god, he was the perfect person to write that book, like honestly.
And so it's like, it's kind of hard to tell, like, what would he do in a book that isn't supposed to be like this? But like in Book of Lost Saints, for example, like that book is like it's a coming of age tale. It's a family loss and reconciliation tale. It's also like halfway through you realize it's kind of a ghost story, like, and yet it's all written in the same very like unmistakable conversational style that he like, very just off the top of the head style that he writes in. And that's definitely, apparent, like you said, Burb, even in just the way that the sound effects are spelled out here. Like, you can tell that he is like, I have a vision in my head of how stupid this is going to look, and it's going to be great. So he has a very consistent voice in that regard, and in his really impressive ability to bend the framework of what he is writing to his style rather than the other way around.
And he has like a really incredible knack, I think, for character voice, just making everyone sound, like just delivering so much characterization through dialogue and like descriptions for characters and making them all sound like individuals, and they all feel very different, even though they all feel like they came out of his brain. Like, obviously Buckets of Blood is based on a real person, but like only he would be like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna put this in a Star Wars, obviously. Like, that's the kind of thing that only he would do. I feel like it's I don't want to say he's got this like I don't know if absurdist is quite the right word for it, but he's just like, I don't know, he brings this like chaotic element, I feel like, to Star Wars, like in a great way that just it's the way he incorporates his real world experience is he does it in a way that only he could do, and definitely a fucking white person couldn't do. So yeah, bless him. I'm excited that I'm just, when they said he was going to be on this project, I was so fucking excited because I was just like, yes, give me all the things. And so I'm just like very excited to read more of what he's done in this particular little corner of the Star Wars universe.
And it's interesting,
Yeah.
there was actually, so we're recording this the day that Andor first came out on Disney Plus, and so there was a lot of talk on Twitter about it. And Tom, a friend of the pod, Darth and Turnus from Del Rey, tweeted something really interesting that I think actually really applies to DJO and kind of his creative style, where he's basically like, there's two kinds of Star Wars stories, and there's the kind of Star Wars story where it's, I wonder what happened in this time gap, and then there's the kind of Star Wars story where you're like, what if we did this?
Mm-hmm.
And DJO is very much a what if we did this author.
I
Like,
mean,
he's
it's
not
a little bit both, honestly.
I mean, he can fit his ideas into a time period and make it work, but to me, he is fundamentally like kind of similar to, like, I mean, I hate to compare everybody to Rian Johnson because I swear he's not like the pinnacle of everything, but he is a very good Star Wars creator. But like, it's the same vibe of like, I am going to tell the story I want to tell and then fit things around it, as opposed to, I am going to start with a premise of there is a hole that I'm trying to fill. And I think that's two very different approaches. And I think that that first one of I am going to tell my story and then we'll make it work is what Star Wars is largely missing right now. I mean, even in Obi-Wan Kenobi, and full disclosure, I have not watched Andor yet, but like, just looking at the premise of Andor, like, those are not quote unquote original stories with original characters. They are filling holes. That doesn't mean they can't be great. I loved Obi-Wan Kenobi. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about Andor, but like, they lack that spark of, I have no fucking idea what could happen next.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a fair point. It's just like, there are dire straits in Last Shot, but we also knew like who wasn't gonna die, right? Like, it's that kind of a thing. No, I see what you're saying, for sure, absolutely. Yeah, and then I assume you put this topic down, Chris. What do comics add to the High Republic?
Yeah, so just like, this is the first non-novel that we've read for the High Republic, and it is a famously very multimedia effort. It's got books, it's got comics, it's got audiobooks. We're going to get the Acolyte.
I was going to say.
Which, god damn, the Acolyte casting.
Jacksonville!
Bolos.
I just... all of my hopes for the future of Star Wars are riding on that show.
Leave people of color alone, okay?
Listen, I'm not happy about it. But, so, yeah, like, what do we think that this medium adds to the High Republic that we didn't get in something like Light of the Jedi or Into the Dark, for example?
Listen, at the risk of, like, sounding like a fool, I appreciated the pretty pictures, like, but in all seriousness, like, getting I mean, the coolest thing for me, honestly, was getting a visual for Markian Rogue, just because he's just clearly is just like a looming villain, and he's just like, I just, like you were saying, like, I don't know what's going to happen next with him, and he feels so unpredictable, even though obviously he has a grand plan, because, like, I've never met him before. So, like, getting putting a helmet to the name was like, it was like kind of an awesome thing. Getting to see people's lightsabers, getting to see how people dress. Like I was saying, when we were reading Test of Courage, like, I like it was kind of fun, like, to get the full color illustrations throughout that, so I could get a better idea of what these characters look like, because they've only been in written media so far, and most of it largely without any types of visuals. And obviously there's concept art that, like, Star Wars has put online and whatever, but obviously that only gets you so far. So just having more basically to look at, like, literally, was a fun thing for me.
I mean, like, this story specifically definitely feels like something that would be, like, the D plot of one of the major books that we've read so far.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a fun little side mission, but, and it's got good content, it's got fun stuff, and there's lightsabers, and they found this Force kid. Can we keep her? And... it's that kind of, that world building and, like, scene setting kind of story that there just isn't space for otherwise, because it's not enough, like, I don't think there's enough on this planet for, like, a whole book, but they can't fit it in the other ones because, like, there's a lot of shit going on in the galaxy right now,
and all at the same time.
At the same time.
I guess I would add the planet that they're on. I'm sorry, it's like 10 o'clock, and we all know my brain stops functioning roughly between 6 and 7 p.m., if not earlier. So I don't remember the name of the planet. But I am always here for world building. I love the idea of a planet where people have this sort of, maybe it's because my grandparents are Jehovah's Witnesses, so maybe it just feels familiar. But this world where they're like, no, like, don't worry about the Jedi. Like, that stuff is bad, right? I mean, because it is really giving me Jehovah's Witness vibes. Oof, maybe I should change my answer. This is totally my grandma being like, that's worldly. Don't do that. Oh, God damn it. Anyways, I was going to say I love the world building of, this society that's very clearly anti-force usage. Even though it's fucked up, it just adds, I like a little bit of conflict, I guess, in stories.
Absolutely.
But now I'm wondering if I need to go to therapy. So,
Listen.
I mean, yes, and.
We
Who
all
among
need
us?
space therapy.
Sit in egg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was like 3 years ago. I don't know why I'm still saying that, but
I mean, you're not wrong.
no
It's still
therapy.
funny.
Sit in egg.
What
I
I
won't
like
say what I
about
want to say there.
what I like about the visual is that, very similar to what you said, Kate, like, there's a difference between imagining it and seeing it. And I mean, especially for something like Star Wars, which is, like, at its core very visual. Like, even if people don't know Star Wars, if they see a picture of Darth Vader, they know it's Darth Vader. Like, it's something that, like, the visuals of it seep into the collective consciousness. And I think that that's something that, for many reasons, primary among them is that there's more than one thing happening in entertainment media nowadays at a time. Like, we don't really see that from media or Star Wars in particular anymore. And I think that it's just nice to see that focus on visual and being able to see, like, even drawn out, like, it's drawn out in a really, like, active.
Did you just bop your fucking microphone again?
Don't worry about it.
Fucking degenerate.
It's drawn in a very active, like, movement focused way, and so you, like, can see the lightsaber slashing, and you can see the blasters and everything, and you can see the giant trash monster. And so, like, these are all things that I think in their own way, obviously, like, Star Wars didn't start out as comics, but it does help it get back to its core a little bit.
Yeah, I know we don't fuck with Marvel, but I did love seeing Keeve's lightsaber, which I have erased from my brain if we've seen already in the books, but seeing it in a visual was fantastic. I was like, oh fuck, that's all. Sorry, I swear a lot. I don't know why I'm apologizing for that in Book Wars, but I need to go to bed. But
Swearing
yeah,
on
I was
this
shocking. But
my
yeah, I love the
presence?
visual of that. Yeah.
Yes.
What?
No.
Kate's gonna get rid of me from our friend group. Bye. Anyways, I thought that
Yeah.
looked cool. That's all I'm saying. Great point. Woo! Glad I added it.
I mean, no. Honestly, though, I love that they've given the just like in terms of just like, you know, small details in terms of like, you know, Rana, what you're saying about world building, in terms of differentiating this era from any that we've seen before, especially in the Skywalker saga, like. The lightsabers, they feel different. The clothes that they wear, they are designed differently. There's more. I feel like there's more decoration and ostentation on it. As opposed
Even
to,
Avar Chris's hair was different and more interesting.
yes, totally. But yeah, no, and I think that just the fact that these lightsabers have a little bit more personality to them, I feel like, is different from like say the prequel era where it's just like don't have feelings ever. You know,
Conceal, don't feel.
exactly. You know, like we're just gonna wear like really like down home like homespun fucking clothes and not have all the pretty embroidery decoration on anymore. Like it's just like it's the little details that tell us about the character and the time period we're in and all of that good stuff.
All right, that feels like a good place to wrap it up. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Book Wars Pod. Be sure to get... Why is it a new bisexual vaccine?
Because it's 2 vaccines.
Because it's the bivalent vaccine.
Oh, okay. I
Jesus
get it
Christ.
now.
Someone thought they
The
had a
bi
joke
vaccine,
and they got
okay?
Bisexual
lost.
community, Chris.
Hey, get your new bi-vaccine plus a flu shot.
Thank you.
For our
fuck's
next
sake.
episode, we're going to be starting the Dr. Aphra audiobook, written by Sarah Kuhn. There's also a script version if you prefer reading, or just want to read along with the audio. But we're going to be listening to / reading the start through scene 23, which is about halfway through. So we hope that you will join us for that one. It's been a minute since we did an audiobook, so we're very excited.
Also, because we haven't been doing Marvel Comics, we haven't checked in with Aphra in like 85 years, and she is me.
No, it's yeah.
she is me.
No, it's fantastic because this is an opportunity for us to get to know Aphra because it's essentially a retelling of the first run of the Darth Vader comics where we're introduced to her, but through her eyes. And so it's great to see what...
I was just going to say Happy Bisexual Awareness Week, speaking of Dr. Aphra. Anyway.
is true. Dr. Aphra's not bisexual.
Yeah, she's fully
though.
gay.
She's just,
fully gay.
She's straight up gay.
Okay, sorry.
So,
She's-
Keeks hates lesbians. Got it. We know.
Yeah,
It's true.
Keeks famously hates
Famously.
If you have the means, please first and foremost donate to Brigada Solidaria del Oeste, and we will post the information for that in the show notes and on Twitter. Then, if you still want to support us, you can donate to the Tashi Station Radio Patreon or give us coffee at ko-fi.com/bookwarspod. Our theme song is Whiz Bang by Poddington Bear. Our logo and artwork are by Joe Butera Design. And our audio and production are done, as always, by Kristen McDonnell. For all of us, including all of our better halves doesn't work for pets, but
Yikes.
the stars of our household, Argos, Cerberus, Jasper, Orca, and Tony. For Kristen, Kate, Miranda, and Rana, I'm Chris. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.